But anyway.
Sorry, that was my dog.
We're here. Welcome to Midweek Live. We want to start tonight by hearing from our friend and leader, Brad. Brad, some big news came out, I guess, last week. You some sharing about a transition, but we want to hear from you, man. What's going on and what's God doing in your story?
Yeah, so thanks, Dan. Your family should have received an email just kind of outlining that there's going to be a role transition for me coming in August at the end of the summer, beginning of the school year. For the last couple of years, I love students and I love our church and I love our families. I grew up in our student ministry. I have had pretty much every role other than worship leader, still working on that one in our student ministry. And I've known for a long time that, like, even though I love students, I love our church.
Charlie and the chocolate. Wait, what?
Anyway, I've known for a long time that, like, my time was going to come somewhat soon in the next couple of years to transition to a different role. Just as I've learned myself better, learned how God has equipped me. And so I'm going to be moving on to the communications team. I'm really excited about this move. I think that one of the things that hopefully I'm able to bring to the table there is just an awareness of students and how you guys communicate, because I'm committed to this idea that you guys are the church today and tomorrow. And so the church needs to be able to communicate and communicate well to your generation. So I'm really excited to use my skills, use my gifts in that role. Additionally, I didn't want to move. I didn't want to transition until I knew that the future of Fuse was kind of set. And I am excited for Dan's leadership. I'm excited for Matt and Jaron. His role is going to expand a little bit during this. And guys, God has good things in store in the future for our Fuse student ministry. And I think it's a win for everybody when you can get youth pastors in different roles within the church, because just like you've seen with JJ, he's still around. You still hear his voice. He comes in and teaches from time to time. I plan to do that as well. I think anytime we can advocate for students in any level, that is a win for the kingdom and it's a win for Calvary. So I am excited to continue relationships with you guys. I'm excited to continue to see you. I'm excited to duck in from time to time in our students, in our student ministry, in our midweek programming and different things like that. My transition, as I said, it's going to happen at the end of the summer. So I get another summer to have fun and just spend time and continue to build memories with you guys. So I would love to answer any questions, not in this space because there are so many of you, but if any of you want to talk further or ask me any questions about what I'm going to be doing, I would love to chat. But know this, I love you guys. I love you guys a lot. I have cherished my time in Fuse and in our youth ministry. And I am continuing to look forward to having a relationship with our student ministry in the months and years to come. So that being said, that's exciting news for me. It's also sad news as well. I want to kind of transition to maybe some more exciting news for us as a whole, and I want to talk about summer. We've got some fun stuff planned. We don't have anything locked or written in stone.
We can't hear you.
You're muted. You're muted.
Somebody muted you.
All right. So for future reference, please do not click the mute everybody in the conversation option, because that mutes whoever is speaking or presenting as well. So just take care of muting yourself. We have a team of interns who I'm going to introduce you to soon, who will take over muting individual people as they come up. So anyway, as I was saying, super excited for this summer.
Brad, the same person muted you as last time.
All right, please stop muting other people unless you are on Fuse staff or a Fuse intern. Anyway, we've got some super exciting things planned for this summer. We don't exactly know fully what we're going to be able to do because everything is going to be week by week. It's going to be different, but we are committed to getting our community gathered together when and how we're able to do that. So that's going to start with next week. We have a party in the parking lot planned at Calvary behind our volleyball courts. We're going to rope off different areas of the parking lot. What we need from our students, what we need from our community is you guys need to bring lawn chairs, lawn games, and any food that you want to eat for the evening. If you are uncomfortable joining us, or if you're not able to make it, we will be streaming live on Instagram so that those who aren't able to join will still be able to participate by just kind of seeing what's going on. We've got some, I think, live music planned for that event as well. And so we're just looking to have fun. We're going to have social distancing parameters in place. We do want to honor those and be sensitive and to be mindful of other people. And so we will have more information coming out on that shortly. So that's that. Additionally, a lot of you, and you guys want to listen to this, a lot of you have been asking about summer camp. Is summer camp happening? Are we going to summer camp? And the answer to that is yes, probably. So we are currently, we have been given the green light. We sent a survey to parents of students who are already registered for summer camp. The response was awesome. We are planning on going ahead and doing camp. What we need from you is if you haven't registered yet, you can register on our website, calvary.church, I believe, /summer camp, but don't hold me to that. You can go to the website and the registration is live. We'll have that continued to link on our social media. We are so excited to go back to Eagle Sky. We are so excited to add an extra day to camp. Camp has been doing they're doing some really cool things to help keep their facilities clean and to help keep their campers safe. And so we'll talk more about that in the days and the weeks to come, but we are excited to say we are planning on going to camp. It's going to be awesome. All right. That being said, I want to highlight and introduce to you our summer interns. So we have almost all of them on this call. I'm just going to go alphabetical order as I see. And what we've asked them to do is just kind of, each of them is going to get a minute to introduce themselves, say, hey, what are you doing these days? Are you going to school? Where are you going? What are you excited about for this summer? So let's start with Audrey Milliken.
Hello, everybody. I'm Audrey. Right now, and next year, I'll be going to St. Charles Community College, where I'm doing gen ed stuff, and then hopefully going somewhere else to do ultrasound technician. So that's exciting. I'm super excited this summer just to get to know so many of you and just have a bunch of fun times. And I love forming relationships and stuff. So I'm excited to get to know a ton of you, new people that I haven't met before. So yeah.
Awesome. And I forgot to mention, we are playing 2 truths and a lie with all of our interns. So when they introduce themselves, there will be 3 facts that pop up in the comment section, 2 that are true and 1 that is a lie. We ask that you guys interact with those and figure out which one is the lie. So Audrey, thank you for sharing. Next, we have Brendan Donahue. You might not recognize him. He did intern last summer, but he has a mustache now. So.
Hey, how's it going? I go to Mizzou. I just finished up my freshman year. And I'm really looking forward to getting to see everyone that I saw last year and getting to see new faces. So, yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Brendan. Brendan, as always, we love your style of the Goodyear hat that you are rocking. Glad your hair grew back so that you can rock the flow again. All right. Next, you may not know her. You may have never met her before. If you have, you know her well. Ellie Dubsky.
All right. Hey, guys. What's up? I'm Ellie. I go to Missouri State. I'm not going to tell you my full major because it may or may not assist you with the 2 truths and the lie thing that I did. But I will tell you that it's education-based. I am planning to work with high schoolers after I graduate and become a teacher. And so, obviously, youth is something that's placed heavily on my heart. And so I'm super excited to intern this summer. I worked the past 2 summers with WinShape, kind of with younger kids. So I'm excited to step into this role and really get to know you guys and get to be back around, my home church and just getting to build relationships with you guys. So, yeah.
Awesome. Fun fact about Ellie, she told me like 3 years ago that she was going to intern summer 2020. So excited
Here we are.
that is happening. All right, next, if you were around last summer, you'll know her, Emily Nibalski.
Hi guys, my name's Emily. I go to Lindenwood University. I'm studying art history. Not quite sure what I want to do with that yet, but that is what I know about. And I am super excited to go back to summer camp with all of you guys. That was the highlight of my summer last summer, and I know probably for a lot of you guys as well. So I'm super excited to go back.
Awesome. We are excited to have you back, Emily. All right, next we have Emma Solers. I see that her camera is off, so hopefully she is still with us. She did say
Is my camera still off?
Yes, your camera is off. Yes.
Oh,
There we
that's
go.
odd. Is it on?
It's on.
Okay. I'm Emma. I go to Missouri State University, and I'm studying child and family development in hopes to become a child life specialist. And I'm super excited about interning this summer and just getting to know you all and getting to have fun and glorify God while we do it. And so, yeah, I'm super excited.
Awesome. Thanks, Emma. Emma was really involved with Breakdown when she was in high school. And so I know that we have several of our Fuse fam who auditioned this year and is wanting to be part of that ministry. They do a lot of great stuff. So excited, Emma, that you are joining us. All right, next we have Jared Johnson. If you've been around our student ministry for any time at all, you will have encountered this guy, whether he has been helping lead worship or maybe he's been your small group leader. So Jared.
Yeah, so I go to Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm a entrepreneurship and marketing major. And I'm really looking forward to, like most of you, seeing people because this self-isolation has been pretty frustrating. I've also grown up, like Brad said, at Calvary all the way from when I was a baby, and I've had some really cool interns along the way. So I'm really excited to be able to kind of pass that forward.
Awesome. Yeah, we're excited, Jared, to have you back. I feel like I have a kindred spirit in Jared with our love and appreciation of coffee. All right, next, where are we at in the alphabetical order? Samantha, are you the next one in line? We jumped from J to S.
I'm not sure, but I can go.
Go for it.
I'm Sam. I'm a senior at Truman State University, and I'm studying math education. So I know you all have math problems, and a lot of them. So please hit me up if you need some help. I am super excited to just reconnect with all of you guys from the past 2 years and also find like creative ways to hang out with you all, whether that is online or in person. There's many fun things that we can be able to do. So I'm really excited to hang out this summer.
Awesome. Samantha, this is your third summer interning, right?
It is, yeah. Yeah, I was a middle school intern my first year when we just had high school and middle school, and then last year as well with all 8.
That's awesome. And then we also have Drew Fry. He is not with us. His family is on vacation in the Smoky Mountains, I'm sure, maintaining proper social distancing from everybody. But we are excited. He's been around Fuse as well, good friends with Jared and Brendan, Emily, and the others. And so one of the things I'm super excited about this summer is all of our interns have been involved on some level with Fuse student ministries in the past. So that's really exciting to me because that means that our students, our Fuse fam has examples of people who are in college, who are, taking their next steps and following Jesus, who are just a few, one stage in life ahead of y'all. And they've all been where you have been, right? They've been in high school. Some have been at private school, some public school. They have all sat in the Fuse seats. And so really looking forward to everything that they're going to be able to do for you and connect with you and engage with you this summer. Like Sam said, we've got a creative summer ahead of us. We have to pivot. We have to plan some fun stuff that's just a little bit out of the ordinary. And so be ready. Our interns could spring on you at any time, right? We're going to have them stop and see students. We're going to have them plan parties, maybe in a park, maybe at somebody's in their front yard. We don't know. It's going to be a crazy summer, and we're excited for it. So stay tuned for more details. We'll throw some stuff on email and social media over the next couple of weeks to just kind of give you an idea of where you can catch us. All right, at this point, we are going to hand it over to Jaron. We're going to do some live worship. So yeah, Jaron, take it away. I have no idea how this is going to go.
Me neither. I'm going to go ahead and paste these lyrics. So if we keep spamming the chat, then these lyrics are not going to be available to everybody. Can everybody hear me? I want to make sure I didn't see if I unmuted or not. Good to go. Okay, I get some nods. It's good. I'm going to go ahead and paste these. This is a song that I know you guys love. I know that you guys are into it. This is kind of mostly for the seniors. I know it's kind of like our send-off for some of you guys hanging out. It is called The Way. I sang this one when I was in high school, and it was like a big old hit when I was in high school as well, like when I was a senior. So it's really cool. I somehow turned on closed captions, so everything I'm saying is being typed in front of me. I'm sorry, I got really distracted real quick. But when I was a senior, this was an important song to me as well. So this one's called The Way, and it just talks about the truth and who Jesus is to us. So I'm happy to celebrate that with you guys. I was nowhere, you came to my rescue. From the grave I've been saved. When I needed a savior to save, Jesus, you made a way. And I was blind, but these eyes have been opened. Now I walk in light. Every step on this road I will follow. Jesus, you made a way. You are the way. You are the way. Lost and dead, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the way. Yes, you are the way. You are the way. You're the light shining bright in the darkness. Jesus, you are the way. Yeah, Jesus, the only way. And all my days are secure in your promise, never standing alone. You're the truth, you're the life, you're my future. Jesus, you made a way. And I'm alive in the love that you give me, free to dance once again. You will lead me from glory to glory. Jesus, you made a way. You are the way. You are the way. Lost and dead, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the way. You are the way. You are the way. You're the light shining bright in the darkness. Jesus, you are the way. Oh, Jesus, the only way. You are the way. You are the way. Lost and dead, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the way. And you are the way. You are the way. You're the light shining bright in the darkness. Jesus, you are the way. Oh, Jesus, the only way. And we do celebrate that. And I think I'm passing it on over to Matt, if I'm correct. Matt, I'll find you in the
dude.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, thanks, Jaron. Appreciate you, man. Always thankful for Jaron to lead worship. Can't wait for us together again. I'm going to take just a couple minutes of your time talking as we finish up the Big Picture series. And if Fuse News is coming back, oh, man, this chat's going to be the death of me because I will be wildly distracted. I'm going to have to cover it with my phone in order to make sure I don't just look at the comments all the time. Yeah. But tonight we're talking about forgiveness. And if you don't hear anything else, the main idea is God uses forgiveness in lots of different ways. And I think that's a big aspect of the story of Joseph. And so when I think about how God uses forgiveness in my life, it brings me to a really specific story. So some of you know my story, some of you don't. My parents are separated and divorced. And that process started, my parents started to get divorced when I was about a senior in high school. And that put a pretty big divide and rift between me and my dad. Probably I blamed him pretty fully for it. And we really didn't talk for a good number of years. And there was this lack of relationship, this lack of engagement. And I caught myself being mad of things that he owed me. Like he wasn't there for me. He wasn't part of this. He wasn't part of my life in this way. And just talking to some people, I ended up writing what's called a debt letter. And that's just something I've even seen some of I'm on Instagram now. So I've seen some of our students posting like debt letters of the coronavirus. Like because of the corona, I didn't have a senior season. I didn't have prom. I didn't have all these things. And that's kind of what I wrote to my dad. Something that was like, hey, like I didn't have someone to walk through this stuff with. I didn't have someone there. You weren't there. You weren't around. And I wrote that and I just threw it away. And I felt so much better. And then as it turns out, my great aunt passed away and I was going to see my dad for like the first time in years. And I decided to write him a letter that said like, I forgive you and I just want to have a relationship with you. And so after the funeral was over, I put it underneath his windshield wiper. And then we started talking. We started having a relationship again. And it built up slowly. It was still awkward. Things were still strange. But now to this day, like he and I have a really good relationship. And if I hadn't reached out to him with forgiveness, I don't know that we would. I don't know if we would be communicating. And we're going to see God use forgiveness in my life to bring me and my dad together. Now me and my wife have a relationship with my dad. Me and my brother and my dad can all hang out and like God used that forgiveness. And it's similar to how God used forgiveness in Joseph's life as well, right? And there's the story of Joseph is long, chapters and chapters and chapters. But we get to the point where Joseph was betrayed by his brothers, right? Sold into slavery. He works for this guy named Potiphar. After Potiphar, he ends up in jail. And then after that, he ends up second in command over the whole land of Egypt, storing up grain, making Dave Ramsey proud with his saving tactics, right? And then in the end, his brothers come because there's this famine, and the famine even reaches Canaan, where his brothers are living. So his brothers come, and he tricks them because they don't recognize him for all kinds of different reasons. And he ends up putting his cup inside of his younger brother's sack of grain that he's going to take home. And he tricks them and to making them think they're in really big trouble. And in the end, the brothers are before Joseph thinking that Benjamin is going to be killed or enslaved or something. And Judah, not Judah Lumpa, the Judah brother of Joseph, says, don't harm my brother, take me instead. And for whatever reason, that triggers Joseph and jumps us into our story of where he's at tonight, where he's just caught up in the emotion and sees him. So if you have your Bibles, real quick, it's Genesis 45, verses 1 through 5, and then 10 through 11. So 45, 1 through 5, and then 10 through 11. I'm just going to read that real quick. Then Joseph could no longer control himself before all his attendants, and he cried out, "Have everyone leave my presence." So there was no one with Joseph when he made himself known to his brothers. And he wept loudly, so that the Egyptians heard him, and Pharaoh's household heard about it. Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father still living?" But his brothers were not able to answer him because they were terrified at his presence. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "Come close to me." And when they had done so, he said, "I am your brother Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt. And now do not be distressed and do not be angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you." Jump down to verse 10. It says, "You shall live in the region of Goshen and be near me, you and your children and your grandchildren, your flocks and your herds, and all you have. I will provide for you there, because 5 years of famine are still to come. Otherwise, you and your household and all who belong to you would become destitute." And it's crazy that we see Joseph extending this forgiveness and God using that forgiveness in phenomenal ways. Like, God uses the forgiveness of Joseph to his brothers to make Israel into a great people. Goshen is a land where it's super close to the Nile, which is that big river thing, right? The water and the flowy that allows crops to live. And they were farmers, so they needed their sheep to eat. And they were able to be in a place that would sustain them to grow. And once that happened, they grow to a huge and powerful nation. And we see that in the beginning of the next book of Exodus. But God does that through the forgiveness of Joseph. And we see this idea of forgiveness over and over and over again. And in my life, it was very specific for me and my dad. It was for Joseph, it's very specific to him and his family and all these other people. But it leads me just to two questions. The first question is, who do you need to forgive? Right? Like, who in your life is someone that you are harboring something against? And it would be awesome for us to all sit down and me to talk to each one of you and to figure it out. But that's not going to happen, right? Been on enough of these meetings. When we think about forgiveness, I think that there's probably someone you need to forgive. And like, who that is, I don't need to tell you, but you probably know. I'm thinking for my own self, someone I'm holding a bit of a grudge against. Someone I'm holding unfairly to something in a way that they wronged me. And like, for you, who is that person? And once we acknowledge who that person is, what's holding us back from forgiving them? And I think a lot of it for me is pride. Like, my pride and arrogance gets in the way, and specifically in wanting them to initiate it. Like, it's really hard for me to forgive someone because I want them to ask for it. I want them to apologize. I want them to own up to what they did first. And I don't know that that's true forgiveness, right? We see Joseph extend forgiveness without trying to receive something. We see Jesus doing the same thing, right? He's extending forgiveness. He's down on the cross before we do anything, right? And in the same way, I think maybe the purest form of forgiveness doesn't require action on someone else's behalf. And so this isn't like hey, anytime someone's ever wronged you, go up to them and shame them publicly and say, "I forgive you." No, it's more of like hey, like, what you did hurt me. And maybe they know about it, maybe they don't. But if we were to be a community of people who forgave quickly, what would that be like? You know, if we were all to be willing to acknowledge when we're wronged and then willing to forgive and push past our own pride, the Lord could do amazing things. Like, he made Israel, this small group of people, into a mighty nation because of forgiveness and because of the forgiveness they were willing to have for each other. Right? And I think a weird part of it now is that a lot of times we have to forgive ourselves, and that's a totally different dynamic that we don't really have time to jump into. Hope for us, and my prayer for us, is that we would be a group of people, the body of believers would be categorized as forgiving. Imagine how quickly gossip would die if we were willing to forgive each other. Imagine how much more willing to be vulnerable and real with each other we would be if we were being forgiving to each other. We weren't judging, we weren't holding things against people, maybe even unfairly. And so it's just a quick thought. I hope y'all are forgiving. I hope the Lord continues to change my heart and make me more forgiving as I attempt to figure this life out, you know? So for me, for this week, as I've been reading over this, my prayer has been for y'all, that you would be forgiving, that would be a characteristic of your life, because it's hard. Forgiving people oftentimes sucks. Like, I remember when I wrote that letter and put it on my dad's windshield, I was shaking. I was so scared, and like, it is hard. It is a hard thing to do, but like, on the other end, the Lord uses it in such amazing ways. So how can the Lord move in your life through forgiveness? What do you need to forgive? Who do you need to forgive? Just think on that. Maybe with small groups, maybe on your own. There's no need to go through that on your own, and I never did. So let me pray, and then I'm going to throw it over to Brad for just a quick sec. So, dear God, thank you just for your forgiveness for us, for modeling that, for giving us your example, the example of your Son. Lord, I pray that we would be a forgiving people, that we at Calvary would forgive others quickly, that we would be willing to extend grace beyond what makes sense, so that your gospel may be made known to the nations, that our community would be overwhelmed by the forgiveness and grace that your people just show. Lord, we love you. We're thankful for what you've done. You've done what you're doing, what you will do. Lord, we desire to gather together, and we're so excited for what you have in store for us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Well, Matt, thank you for closing out our Big Picture series. We went through the life of Joseph. And encourage any of you and all of you over the next few days to just kind of read that story again. It's several chapters towards the end of the book of Genesis. We've been in it for 5 weeks and really kind of seen God do a lot of cool things through Joseph's life. He often did not see or wasn't given the big picture in any one set of circumstances, and yet God was constantly doing things to remind him and constantly using him in different ways. And so for us, right, it's so easy to lose track of the big picture, to not recognize or see what God is doing. But even in it, Matt, I love what you said about forgiveness, because God uses forgiveness in powerful ways to move forward his mission, and he wants to use us to participate in that as well. So thank you, Matt, for sharing. Just a few quick announcements before we close out. One, a reminder, next Wednesday, we're doing a parking lot party up at church. It'll be at our normal Fuse time, 6:30. Doors will open at 6. So back in the back parking lot, you'll want to bring a lawn chair or something to sit on. You'll want to bring some sort of lawn game or something to do that can be done at a safe distance from other people. And if you're hungry, you're going to want to stop by Cane's or Chick-fil-A or DQ somewhere on the way to bring food, because we're not able to provide food right now for that. So anyway, yeah, that's next Wednesday, June 3rd. And we're going to have our new 6th graders with us as part of that. So super excited to welcome in new members of our Fuse fam. But in doing so, we also sadly are going to have to say goodbye to a big chunk of our Fuse family, our seniors. Now, seniors, I do want to say, we recognize that the last 2.5 months has been stolen from you. And so we are not going to be upset at all if we see you as much as possible this summer. You are welcome to join us for things. In fact, we're going to be probably throwing you a big prom of some sort here later in the month of June, because that was something that you guys didn't get. You didn't get a senior prom. And so more info on that to come, but you can be looking forward to that. In the month of July, seniors, we have our senior blessing night. That's just a powerful night for seniors and for their families and any friends or youth leaders who are excited or just want to spend some time honoring and celebrating and blessing you. So that'll be July 26th. I'm really looking forward to that. It's a great night every year. And then the other thing, seniors, we hope that our relationship with you as a church does not end with your graduation. We would love to move you on to our college ministry. It's called The Vine. Pastor Dan gets the privilege of running that and being involved there with you. And so he's excited to get to know you more and spend more time with all of our Vine stuff. Jaron and Audrey have been very involved in that over the last year. Our interns as well. Hopefully some, if not all of them, will be involved this summer with our Vine ministry. And so excited to see you move into that and continue to be part of Calvary there. Anyway, I'm going to just scan real quick to make sure that I catch everybody. But I just want to recognize the seniors who are with us. I see Caleb Little there. He's called Janice Little on this talk. Caleb, man, you have been a stud. You have been so faithful. You have served in so many different ways. We are going to miss you, but we hope that, with you going to college here, I think at MOBAP, right? We are hoping that we continue to see a whole lot of you. All right, let me keep going through here. I saw Kyle. There you go, Kyle Bryan. Thank you for joining us again, man. You have been just part of our community for so long. Looking forward to seeing what God does in you and through you when you go down to Missouri S&T. Priyanka, I don't see you, but I see that you're on here, so I want to give you a shout out as well. Hopefully I am not missing anyone. There's someone who's listed as unknown, so who knows if they're a senior or not. But anyway, just excited for what God has done and he's going to continue to do. We have loved having you as part of our ministry. And I, for one, am grateful that I can think of you guys are a great class, right, for me to kind of have as my last senior class. And so I'm going to miss you guys a ton. Anyway, that wraps up our final Fuse midweek for the school year. Next week, we start summer nights. And so stay tuned to our social media, Instagram and Facebook and YouTube for announcements and updates where you can catch us this summer. Thank you all for joining us. Some of you might be going on to a small group after this. Others of you, you're not having small group. That's totally cool. It's fine as well. But man, I just also want to just give it up for our small group leaders. They have been amazing. They're always amazing. I never expected or doubted that they would not continue to be amazing. But over the last couple of months, guys, they have learned new software. They have learned how to use their phones in ways they never could have imagined. They have been creative and stretched as they have just sought to continue a relationship with you and engaging and connecting. And so if you haven't yet, please just express your gratitude and your appreciation to them. Shoot them a text, send them a letter or a postcard, just telling them how much you love them and how much you are thankful for them. I am so thankful that our ministry is done and run by them. It's not my ministry. It's not Dan's ministry. It's not Matt's ministry. It's their ministry. They're the ones who are connecting and engaging. And it's because of the work that they do that makes it easier for me to step on to my next thing, because you guys are connected to the church. You are connected to one another. And it's because of the faithfulness of your small group leaders. So we are just so thankful for all of you. All right. With that being said, looking forward to seeing you next week. And you can always just follow along on social media, stay connected, stay engaged. And we're looking forward to an exciting and fun summer. We love y'all.
Jumping in the house of God, jump up, jump in the house, jumping in the house of God. Jumping in the house of God, jump up, jump in the house, jumping in the house of God. Jumping in the house of God.